Hello everybody, this is Founder Rune with Fantasy Girls Academy. I'm going to create some horror themed characters tonight. So I'm going to continue what I did the other night. I actually had a internet outage, so I couldn't finish the stream. So I'm going to start another character. This is going to be intermediate type instruction or suggestions. Right now I'm using the horror theme. I have in the library, I have quite a bit of character creation content, including Rob Tui's coding effects. I also have some tokens by Bernardo Hasselmann, and I have most of the character creation stuff, including The Curse of Strahd and some other books that I might need for character creation. There is one here I don't see that I have loaded, so maybe I will load that. So if I go to modules, I'm down here and I'm going to load the Ravenloft one. So try Van Richten. So here's the setting, and then there's the players part. So I'm going to load those just so I have the extra content because I need it. This is horror-based type thing, so I want to make sure that I have the content that I'm going to create characters with. So there's a possibility I might use some of this content from the backgrounds and such. Okay, so I went ahead and loaded that just in case, and now I'm going to go back to building characters. So if I come up here to the top right, this is character creation mode here. This is characters. I already have two made here. It's a Bralem is Garson. He is a priest, 3rd level. I have a 4th level paladin. Her name is Ilaria Dame. She's basically a paladin, but she's a Azamar. She kind of has like a holy background. She's pretty much done. Let me check Isgard out, or Isgarth, if you see what he's got going on. Pretty sure I'm done with him too. I'm not sure. Yeah, so these have all their actions, all the automation now. So when I build the next character, I'm going to do the same thing. So first things first, little tip. If you're going to build a lot of characters, or if you need to access the portraits, what I usually do is I'll go to the assets window first. And then from here, I will go to tokens, which is in the folder. And then if you go to the tokens area and you find your data folder, come in here, you can find the Fantasy Grounds shortcut for their tokens that they provide you. So if you go to FG and then you look at fantasy or something like that, and you go to portraits, you'll find it in the actual data folder. And in here, you have Fantasy Grounds Fantasies. If you open that up, you're going to expose all of the different pictures that are available for you to choose for your character. So what I usually do is I'll take this and open it up first before I build characters. And I will stretch it out, load it. What I'm going to do is use this to navigate through to see what different tokens I have, or excuse me, these are portraits. So this way, when you're building characters, all you have to do is drag and drop it on the sheet. You don't have to double click on the character sheet and then double click on the bag and then double click and wait for the menu to load up. So this way it's already loaded. And then you can just drag and drop and it doesn't close. That way you don't have to start over again. So that's a kind of a quicker way to access that. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that. Okay, so I have a cleric and a paladin. So I think today I'm going to work on a bard. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the add item. I'm not going to use the character wizard in this one, but I have before in other videos if you're curious how that works. So I'm going to do it the old drag and drop method. So I'm going to click the plus button. That brings up this nice handy dandy character sheet. Then what I'm going to do is pick out one of these portrait pictures. So I'm thinking not something too traditional, maybe something that's going to have a little charisma. So probably elf or something like that. There's an elf thief, elf male thief, you know. That looks like it might be something I want. And there's an elf male fantasy picture. Let's see what these look like. Might do that, but I'm going to go ahead and use this kind of roguish looking one. So I'm going to drag and drop that up here into the portrait area, and it also becomes your token. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put rogue up here for right now. Not rouge, but rogue. And he's going to be at least 3rd level, so we'll get to that. I'm going to give him the standard array, so it's 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. So I'm going to give him a 15 dex. Oops, so let me put it up there. So 15 in his dexterity, 14 on his charisma, 15, 14. I'm going to give him 13 on intelligence, 12 on his constitution, 10 on strength, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and there's supposed to be an 8 in here, so I'll put it on strength. Yeah, what's going on? Let's see. It's that 12, and here 8. So it doesn't need to be that strong. So there's the rogue with the standard array. I haven't picked any of the racial stuff, so that's something that you later on in your journey building your character, you're going to stick that on there. That'll be your. Okay, so next I'm going to create. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and create probably like a grab his race over. And let's see. I think so. Let's do that. So bring over the races. So pop on that particular banner. Let's go to elf. Player's handbook version. Drop that on there. So here's the different elf subraces. So we have wood elf, high elf, dark elf, Aladdin, and some of the other Forgotten Realms. It's kind of like the moon elf for some reason. So I'm going to pick that. So moon elf it is. And generally moon elves have white hair, so maybe I'll pick something else. I'll just pick a high elf instead. So there we go. There's a high elf. Go ahead and click OK. And when you do that, it actually adds all the different things in here. So it added a cantrip that you get, free cantrip. You get ability score increase later on. You get +1 to intelligence. And I think you get +2 to dex. Yeah, +2 to dex. So that was pretty good. 17 dex, +1 on intelligence. That helps with his skill checks and sort of thing. And he's got a decent enough charisma to be a. So if I wanted to, I can change these out. So I can go with 17. Yeah, I might do that. So 17 charisma, 14 dex. So I'm swapping those two. That's pretty good. And if you want to cheat, I'll say, okay, I'm just going to give him a 15 dex. There we go. I cheated. But there again, I'm creating these for a one-shot, so I kind of want the players to be successful. So I'm going to do whatever I want on these. So there we go. 9, 15, 12, 14, 10, 17. So that's pretty good stats. All right, so the Nexus Class, I'm going to open that up. And let's go with a race, or excuse me, class. We already got the race. So to race, class. Okay. So we want to choose the Bard. And once I drag that over, it's basically going to ask for 3 skills. So I don't want to pick ones that I already have. So as an elf or whatever, I got perception for my background. something I didn't choose yet, but I'll go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go with history, go with nature, now perception. No, we've already got perception. Let's go with Arcana for sure. Acrobatics, there we go. So that's some pretty good abilities there. And I'm going to go ahead and level it up, but I want to make sure I got the background first. Forgot that step. So we're going to go to the background. I kind of want him to be somebody that's curious, that kind of likes to poke around. Maybe an investigator. So I'm going to do that. So investigator in Van Richten's guide, which is cool. They get trinkets, they get investigator case for a table, disguise kit, thieves tools, they get investigation, insight. Okay, this is cool. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this over to the background. And let's see, I want insight and investigation, because I already have the others. So that is going to really bring this individual into R. See what we got for actions. Yeah, it's already building actions because I have the modules already loaded for its items, so that's cool. It's already building his automation. It's got a chest instead of a backpack, so I might change that, but for now I'll just leave that. Okay, so is that, and got the class already. I'm going to level him up to at least level 3. So let's drag and drop. So he's got second level now. It already adds the hit points and such. The average rounded up. One more at least. So there we go. So maybe College of Lore? College of the Spirits. What's that? Oh. So Bards of the College of Spirits seeks tales with inherent power, be they legends, or power be the legends, histories, or fictions, and bringing up their subjects to life. Using occult trappings, these bards conjure spiritual embodiments of powerful forces to change the world once more. Such spirits are capricious, though, and what a bard summons isn't always under their control. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna use the spirits one. That looks like a lot, and it's very themed. The other thing I was gonna do is the whispers one, but I think I want to call it spirits. That looks really cool. So that's basically the character in a nutshell, the most critical parts. Now when you go through, I can add tools that he gets. So he has Jack of all trades, there's magical inspiration, Song of Rest, spiritual focus, and Tales from Beyond. So I have to take a look at those. Got Fey ancestry for the elf thing. I get an extra free cantrip from the wizard spellbook, so that's cool. Got a rapier, and I'm going to give him 2 daggers. So let me grab, so rapier. I put 2 daggers on here. I'm going to give him a hand crossbow, which isn't very big. It's one-handed, so if I go to items, I'm going to grab hand crossbow, some bolts, a case. So here's crossbow. Hand crossbow. I'm going to give him a +1 crossbow. That'd be cool. It's refined, so I want to go ahead and make sure I identify it so it actually carries over the bonuses. And then I'm going to give him the bolts. So just need some bolts. Crossbow case, there's the case and the bolts. And then for this, the bolts themselves, make sure there's 20. Yep. There we go. So that's basically the majority of his equipment. Just give him like 5 gold to start with. It's got a lot of his background stuff, so let me take a look at his abilities and see what else he has. So he has elf weapon training, so he can use long bow, short bow, just short swords, long bows, hand crossbows. You can also use, let's see, a long bow if you wanted to, because of the elf weapon training. And short bow. So that's something you have to add manually, because it doesn't do it automatically. He knows Common and Elvish. I'm going to give him probably like Sylvan or something like that. And what else? He's got light armor, disguise kit, thieves tools, 3 instruments. Okay. So I'm going to add these as rollable items here. So he's going to be proficient with a couple different instruments. So put the star next to it because these are all proficient. Thieves tools. And then he gets disguise kit. And for instruments, I think he's going to have like your typical things. So let's see, I'm going to give him a lyra. I'm going to give him a mandolin. And let's see, what is he carrying in inventory? Make sure he's proficient with that. Okay, so he has a lute. So I'm going to put that on his inventory. And there's the hand crossbow. So there's 20 bolts, 2 daggers, and a rapier. It's cool. So it's got a lute. So I want to make sure that's one of his proficient skills for a lute. Go ahead and type that here. Type lute. Instrument. So he's proficient with the other 2, but he doesn't carry those. So he just has his lute. And those are based off of charisma for performance type stuff. And then the disguise kit is history is intelligence. Disguise kit is definitely charisma. And these tools is dex. Here we go. So all his skills are set up now. See if he has anything else. He has an elf weapon training, gets cantrip, fey ancestry, we got that. Keen senses, that's his perception. Trance, he's got thieves tools, disguise kit. Oh yeah, I forgot about the disguise kit. So I am going to give him that for his inventory. So to kit, disguise kit. So drag and drop that on here. This is going to go in his chest. Well, maybe that's why he has a chest. So I'm going to start putting things in his chest so that he has a place to stow a lot of this stuff. See the crossbow bolt case, that's going to house the crossbow bolt, so I'll just put case right there. Does he have a pouch? No. So I can give him a pouch. Something like that. Carry his coins and stuff. So there's an ammunition pouch too. Give him just a regular pouch. So the vial go in the chest. So all the stuff that he's not going to be equipping, that's not really a weapon, is going to go. I'm going to store the loot in the chest too. I don't know if he would necessarily have it on him or not. But anything that's kind of loose is going to go in the chest. Let's see, he's got 2 daggers, crossbow. His fine clothing is dress clothes, basically. Goes out, or he's in disguise, he'll look like a gnome, something like that. Okay, so there's leather armor, there's a rapier, pouch. Okay, so it looks pretty good. He's got everything set pretty much that he needs. I think for his, let's see if there's a costume. Yeah, so he has a costume, so I'm going to put that in his inventory. That's going to go on the chest as well. That's part of his inventory. Okay, so he's got a big chest full of stuff. Okay, I don't know if he lugs it around or not, but that's what he has. And I'm going to make him chaotic good. Actually, chaotic. Yeah, chaotic good. It's good. Male. Put a deity. Looks like he's about 24. He's a whole 5'9" in height. Probably weighs 130 pounds, soaking wet. So there we go. That's basic stats there. And then you have these personality traits that come from his background. So you can open up your background and go back to your notes, fill those in. So we might as well do that. So grab this. So an investigator considers even the strongest or strangest evidence. There's a picture of an investigator. There's a table for some trinkets. I want to give him a trinket that's tied into his profession. Let's see what he ends up getting. There's a small locked box that quietly hums a lovely melody at night, but you always forget it in the morning. How strange. So I'm going to put that in his notes. So that's something that he has. It's kind of a haunting-like item. It's pretty cool. And then for the case, something he's investigating, his big case, says you got a job with an agency that investigates crimes that the local law enforcement can't solve. You often wonder which you value more, the truth or your pay. So I'm going to put that in the case area for the investigator. It's kind of a cool tidbit of role-playing information. Features an official inquiry, so you can ask questions to law enforcement and such. Roll for a personality trait. Let's see. We got I'm easily startled, but I'm not a coward. Okay. So I'm going to drag and drop that up to the personality traits. You can get 2 of these, so I might roll again just for the sake of it. I compulsively seek to collect trophies of my travels and victories. Nah, I don't see that. This says, I have a personal ritual, mantra, or relaxation I use to deal with stress. Yeah. Okay, so that's how this person's able to keep it together. Adrenaline is probably balance. I like the thing. For ideals, let's see, for bonds, I desperately need to get back to someone or some place, but I lost them in the mists. I think I like that. So just drop that into the bonds area. So whoever they knew before got trapped in the domain of dread, which is kind of cool. Roll on the flaw. What does it say? I'm convinced something's after me, appearing in mirrors, dreams, and places where no one could. Like it. So that's basically their backstory stuff. We can work on that a little bit more, but I don't want to get too detailed because this is a one-shot. And then all the actions are pretty much built. I mean, there's not a whole lot I got to do other than spells. So that now. So I'm going to go to the spells area. I'm going to go ahead and close the assets here for the portraits. And when I do this, I'm going to grab the spells area here on the right. I'm going to filter this to the DND5e spell effects coding. I'm going to go to wizard level 0 because I get 1 cantrip for my racial build. And then I get to pick out of the wizard bundle instead of just the bard. So wizard. Okay, so I think mage hand would be cool. Like that. And this is a racial thing, so I'm going to put it in the elfic category. So there's that. There's dancing lights, firebolt, friends. So I want something kind of dancing lights, mending, message. I think prestidigitation, probably, or you know what? I'm going to do mage hand. Minor illusion. Mage hand. It's very utility. So I'm going to drag and drop that in the elf area. And the reason why because it's based on a different stat. So I need to change this to intelligence, just in case. That would be especially if there's a save associated with it. Then the rest of the cantrips are going to be from the bard. 3 of those, I believe. So that, now I'm going to drag and drop these normally. So definitely want Blade Ward, looks cool. Defense, Vicious Mockery, and probably Light. Those are very utility spells. Let me double check the. See, it's based on charisma. Looks good. Okay. So if you are building a character, normally you have a progression chart. So if you want to pull up your class features and such, stretch this thing out and you'll see a table. And this will show you different things that you get class and such. So for this at 3rd level, it's 6 spells known, 2 cantrips total. So I'd gotta get rid of one of the cantrips, which is fine. So if I'll just get rid of the then he had the extra one. What's the next thing? So 3rd level spells, so yeah, 4 and 2. So for 1st level, and then I'd select this. Let's go with Comprehend Languages, Dissonant Whispers, Fairy Fire is utility. Silent Image, I'll go with Sleep, just in case. Unseen Servant might be helpful, but Unseen Servant and Identify, those are good spells. So those are things that he can do to help the party, more like utility than he is anything else. And I'm going to do a couple 2nd level. So I want to get, let's see, Silence is a good one. And See Invisibility or Lesser Restoration. See Invisibility, hold some heat metal, Gift of Gab, Enhance, Detect Thoughts, Crown of Madness, Animal Messenger, Magic Mouth, Pyrotechnics, Shatter. Oh, I think Shatter's cool because that's a really powerful spell. So, it's that. Yep. So these are his 2nd level spells. He's got his 1st levels. He's got a free cantrip for being an elf. It's pretty much done. I mean, there's not much else to add to this character. There's stuff in here that. Oh yeah, I see that, Shell. Hey, Shell. Yeah, so these are the characters we're going to use on the 30th. I'm just building this bard. I think this bard is more utility, so he's going to have a lot of things. He's part of the College of the. Let's see, this Guiding Whispers is College of the Spirits, so it's pretty cool. So he gets Spirit Tales, and there's a table that you can use. So you can drag and drop on. Let's see. So you currently have a D8 pickup and a D8 dice, and you drag and drop this onto the table. So let's see what it says for Spirit Tales. So one of the Spirit Tales is the Tale of an Avenger. It's kind of cool. It does different things depending on how you do it. That's really cool. So this guy is more of a kind of an oral orator type person. So, and you got magical inspiration, and there's elf weapon training cantrips. Yeah, he's pretty good. So I think we're done with this. So all the abilities are already dealt with. All the bard stuff's on here. I need to change this for Jack of all trades. So I'm going to change this to preparation. I'm going to prepare all his spells. Any of his stuff that needs to set up a usage, I'll do that. So he's got lamp, but then he's got like oil for 20 usages. So go ahead and put 20, but they're one-time use. And should be it. So that's lamp with the oil. So that's what that is. I don't even have to put the usage on the lamp, so I'll just put 0. He might throw it and break it or something, so I'll leave it. And let's see. Bardic Inspiration gets 2 or 3. Yeah, it's equal to the Charisma modifier, so modifier is 3. So it gets 3 usages on Bardic Inspiration. Yep. So that's that. Go to combat and actions. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're almost done. So I just got to go to the skills area, and everything he's not proficient with gets half proficiency. Which is really powerful. There we go. So that is all of that. So that's your Jack of all trades thing. And let's put it up on the combat tracker. Delete this acolyte. Throw this rogue on here. Yep. So I don't have a name for it yet. Let's call it rogue. Actions is going to be put Jack of all trades and the Fey ancestry. Yeah. So that's basically the end of that. So let's call it a night. Thanks for joining, and hopefully you'll be inspired to create your own horror-based creature. I'm going to do this every now and then up till Halloween. So when I get an opportunity, before I go to bed or something at night, I'm going to build the characters, share it once in a while. Okay, so that should be it. So happy gaming, everybody. Take care, and I will see you around the community. This is a one-shot that I'm preparing for, so I'm going to be running that at the end of the month on 30th. It's going to be in the afternoon, Saturday before Halloween. So if you guys are interested, I got plenty of room still. So the details will be in the bottom of the